paper. He described how children are. He reached a place where he said they are like arrows in the hand of a mighty person. He now reached this very particular line now that mommy just read. He say, happy will be that man or woman who has this type of children in his or her house. Now, look at what happens in the church today. Mom is okay, sit down. We have a lot of children in the church who are misdirected arrows. The arrows that are being fired anyhow. And that is why the children we have today, most of them, if they hear that, I don't want to mention any Nigerian musician coming to Oka today, this service period, they will be there and the hair will be empty. Because we did not take good care of their training. Are we getting it? So we should be directing our children earlier before things became difficult for us. Now, another reason that I gave why we should be training children on sex education in church is in the area of the things that rule the world. They say the word, this word like this, W-O-R-D, is ruled by systems. So the world we are in is being ruled by systems. Now, I want to be asking questions from here because most of you were in the class and you're already here, so you're supposed to talk, or else I tell you to come and kneel down here. What are the systems that I gave you in class? I mentioned, I know most of you wrote it down. I'll name them.
Government system.
Well, number one, government system. Social media system. You have forgotten. All right. Number one is family system, educational system, government, as she mentioned, social media. Though I said we have media generally, like this. Then in this media we have the one, those that write on newspapers, they call them print media. The magazine people, they call them print media. We read a lot of things in the newspaper. Sometimes you be like, they say there is something you after reading that in that paper. We read things that take us away from God, from papers. Astrology will tell you what will happen to you today. So if you have known what will happen to you today, is there anything you need God again for? That you know about Ikebe Super. There was a magazine like that where they would be drawing pictures of women and men like that. So they will be narrating stories. There are people who has all the pile up of Ikebe Super from the day of the first publication. So things like that, they are called erotic magazines. Then we now enter the electronic media. In the electronic media, we have the television, the radio. Now, in the TV, we have this one that is going on now, which is called the Big Brother Naija. Now, BP Naija, as they call it, is in the TV. You will be in your house as we speak. The naked woman that is in the house where they are doing the program will appear in the TV of in your house, and your children are the one controlling the remote. It mustn't be 24 hours. Holding remote for them. They know everything. They know the channel, and this is where the children love to watch. Mommy, the people that do the BB Naija, I am not here to paint Christianity black, but I don't think there is any other religion there than the Christians. And if you make mistake and say you want to speak against BB Naija on social media, they will come after you. Yes. And these are the people that as we speak today in church, you see them causing hold up. They want to go to church. But as they come back, they are rushing to know what will happen. In fact, as Pastor is talking, they're taking time. Because he is about to start and this man is wasting our time. I now ask, why are we so hypocritical? If you want to do church something, do it. If you want to be devil, do a complete devil and stop all this faking. I am a Christian, but see what you are doing. You are a Christian, but see how naked you are. And you are telling the truth. Not that they are doing the nakedness in their house and they keep it, they are airing it the whole world to see. And they are not telling you, and then is it not you that want to watch it? There are things that you don't even want to look for. As you are checking, you see it will pop up. You now want to take a look at it. Most of us that are matured enough, you have already conditioned our mind that you are not going to watch BB Naija. But what happened to our children that we live in a house with a remote? And somebody will not tell you you're supposed to buy TV for the children. Don't you know you're supposed to buy? Okay, the children, they're supposed to. What of the phones? What of them meeting their friends? Who also their papa doesn't care. And they also have BB Naija installed in their system. So you see how we, the Christians, are supposed to be the light of the world. According to the book of Matthew chapter 5, we say we're supposed to be the light. We're supposed to be the salt of this earth. See how we are salt. A lot of us are saltless. The light is quenched. If Christ happens to come to that and see what we, the Christians in Nigeria, are doing, I'm telling you, it will be like people have crucified me the second time. So it's part of the reasons why we're supposed to teach sex education inside church. Inside church, there is nothing so bad that if you teach, whoa, my time is already up, I don't even know. That if you teach sex education, then it maybe when you die, you will not go to heaven. Okay, let me tell us. The next system that we know much about is the religious system. I mentioned educational system where we learn how to read and write. The government system where they came up the other time and said we should stop coming to church. Government can come up with a policy that you should stop coming to church and you will not come. If you come, they will arrest you. Then we have the family system. Now in the family, we have the father, the mother, and the children. And they say the father is the head of the family. Now sometimes the head doesn't know much. Or sometimes the children know more than the head. It does affect the family system. Sometimes the father is too busy that he doesn't have time for the family. It is also going to affect the children. So these are the things that we need to look at. There are systems. They are quite different. Then the next one is the religious system. This religious system is what brought me and you here this morning. In the religious system, we are told that if you do well in the world, you go to heaven when you die, right? And if you didn't do well, if you die, you go to hellfire. Now, between the time we are born and the time we are going to heaven is the period we are in this world. So this period now, birth, here, heaven. But between birth and going to heaven or hell, we have this place, which is this period we are, this world. It's in this world that you marry. It's in this world that you eat food. It is in this world that you will watch BB Naija. It's in this world that you even go to church. It's in this world. The reason why God brought you. Are you getting it now? So we need to bring this type of teaching to the church so that people will even know the reason why they are in this world before they not talk of going to heaven. Are we getting it now? We're supposed not to be programming our brain. When you do well, you go to heaven, or when you do bad, you go to hell. What are those well and what are those bad? We need to be mentioning their names and take them topic after topic so that everybody will absorb it. Ask questions. Oh, I've been doing this. I don't know that this thing I'm doing is bad. Okay, then how am I going to do it now? This is where we have to do that. Church shouldn't just be programming us to go to heaven or to go to hell. We need to go deep here and enter into the systems of these ones: educational system, government system, family system, religious system, even the media system. Enter into them and know what they know. We're supposed not to be hiding it. After we finish hiding it, we'll still go and do them secretly. We're supposed even to teach about secret society in this world, so that when our children know the problem in secret society, when somebody is inviting them to the secret society, they say, I know about it, I'm not going.
Also,
It's not come now, it's not bad. In fact, when you come to school and they are bullying you, lecturers are doing this or that, if I take you to our society, not even mention society, just where would they gather? And you become a member. Any lecturer that see you be fearing you. You will be sir, even the girls in this school, they will respect you. And you won't lack money. So by the time they promise you things that are not real, your son that collected money from you going to school has taken the money to go and do registration for courtesy. You won't know. The one day you or she will return with wounds everywhere and will be hiding it. That is a lot of our children started well and ended the way they ended today. So we need to get into all these systems, know them. There's nothing like somebody who follow it till you get lost. If you want to lost, you will still get lost. But there are people who say, thank God I know this thing earlier. That's why when such opportunity presents itself, I ran away because I know it. Alright? So I have already exhausted my time. I want to leave us here. Ask questions, be it the one that I touched now, and the ones that I talked about last Wednesday, or in fact, since we started. So let's use the questions as we come to the conclusion of this morning's topic. I talked about the definition, any discussion that centers on sex, how you experience sex, and how somebody expresses himself sexually. Whether you say I'm gathering people to train them on sex education, you're already passing sexual knowledge to them. And I told you that in sexual education, we need to cover areas like human sexual anatomy, where you have the private and public parts. I also talked about abstinence. We need to abstain ourselves from sex before marriage because it will help you. There are people who don't know. They thought that it was the name, they called it love making. They are going to make love, and today they are suffering. They thought they were making love that day. If you abstain, you won't enter trouble. You won't have sexual transmitted disease. You won't have teenage pregnancy. You see? And you won't even do abortion if you have. Because some people in the name of I want to play snap, they enter into abortion and they die. You also name their control. We're going to take the one after the other. But any question you have from here and why we must teach this, I gave two. One is system of the world. We need to know them before the system comes to us. Then the second one is that being children, we need to know that they're supposed to be trained armed daily, not until they grow up and overgrown. We begin to tell them things they're supposed to know when they're wrong. Then I think what these systems, educational system, government system, family system, religious system, and the rest of them. If you have questions,